What's up guys, I'm Sonic and I'm the best Lin user in the world right now. In the second video of the Lin series, I'm gonna teach you how to solve the second block with the Lin method, of course. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now, in the previous video, I taught you some techniques to finish the first block, but right now what we have to do is that we have to finish the second block. Now, before we even get started with the video, I want to show you what we mean as second block, because unlike what you might think, it's not just corner, edge, corner, but we mean corner, edge, corner, and also this edge in the back, okay? So what you want to do is that you want to solve the whole bottom layer minus one edge, okay? In this case, this is a pretty simple case. You might pair these. You will make an M2 to pair the block. You might insert this orange edge, and you might insert the block, okay? This way we have the entire bottom layer minus one edge solved. So this is the situation where you wanna get, okay? So corner, edge, corner, and this last edge right here in the biddy position. So now I'm gonna teach you some techniques to solve the second block, because there are a bit less than 60 cases for just corner, edge, corner. But if you also add this piece, there are like a ton of cases, like more than 300, something like that. But don't worry, you don't have to learn algorithms, okay? You're gonna solve it intuitively. So don't worry about that. Neither I know all those cases. Now, a fairly easy and intuitive first block would be something like this, for example, where we have the two corners already solved on top and the edge right here. Something you can do is that you can first pair the block on top by doing an M2, okay? And then you can insert the block with a simple slice. But now pay attention, because the bottom edge, the BD edge rather, is not solved. So this is basically a pretty standard way of solving the first block, the second block, my bad, which is by simply solving corner, edge, corner, and then inserting the last edge afterwards. So it's here, you're just going to do U2 and then M2. And as you can see, you're now good to go. Now, another case is, for example, this one here, where you simply have a corner down and this small block on top, where you can simply pair them and insert the block. And afterwards, you're gonna insert this edge as well. But apart from that, there's, for example, another way you can do it, like from the back. You simply have the block here and this one here. You just pair them, insert, and then you insert the edge, okay? It's pretty straightforward, okay? All these cases are pretty intuitive, so you're not gonna struggle that much doing them, okay? Now, if you get a case like this, for example, something you can do is bringing this down, bring this one here down, so you reduce yourself to this case, you pair the block, and you solve it. And now you're simply left with this edge to solve. Now in this case, we skipped an entire stage, but don't look at that, okay? Just focus on the second block. Now, this is one of those cases I see many people struggling with, okay? Where you have the two corners right here and the edge in the middle. The way you can solve something like this, whether it's in the front or in the back, is by simply bringing down one corner and the edge, like this, for example, okay? And then you're gonna pair the corner, the other corner, with the edge. And as you can see, you get this super intuitive case now that you can solve very easily, okay? On the other side, if you get it in the back, what you can do is that you can simply bring down one corner with one edge. It's the exact same thing. You pair the corner with the edge, like this, and now you're simply gonna be left with a two slicer. Another case I see people struggling with is this one here, where the two corners are on top but flipped and the edge is on the bottom. What you can do in this case is something pretty similar to the previous one, okay? Which is basically bringing one corner down like this, okay? So you have the corner paired, we could say, improperly with the edge, and now you're simply gonna connect this corner to the edge, and now you're gonna solve this two slicer, where we can actually also solve the other edge. Now, this is another case that's pretty difficult, specifically for beginners, but also for advanced people. Like, this is pretty bad, actually, where you have two corners like this, and the other one being here, okay? In this case, there is a pretty awkward move, we could say, that basically you're gonna bring one edge, the edge like here. You can also do it in the front if you want, it doesn't matter, but what you wanna do is that you wanna bring it down with the corner, and now you're gonna pair the edge with this corner that's on top, so you're gonna do this and slice. And now this case should be pretty intuitive. You just bring this here, you pair the block, and now you insert it. If you want to do it in the front, it's pretty much the exact same thing. So you're going to bring down the edge and the corner. You're going to pair this edge with this corner right here. And now you simply get this 3 slicer. Now, if you get a case like this where the edge is here and the corners are down but flipped, there is basically like one of 2 ways to do it. You can either put the edge in the front or in the back, it doesn't matter. If you have it in the front, just do it in the front, but let's do it in the back, maybe because it's a bit easier to understand. You bring down the edge, so these 2 come out, and you basically reduce yourself to this case that I explained earlier, where you simply pair one corner with the edge, you pair the other corner with this edge while taking out this corner, and now you simply solve this pretty intuitive case. Now that I showed you some of the hardest cases for the second block, we also have to analyze how to solve this edge right here. Now, after you build the first block, and generally speaking, unless you use an advanced algorithm for the second block, you're always going to have the second block on top, like this. And now, for the BD edge, which is this one here, it can be in a bunch of different positions. So the hardest positions are this, and this, because if it's here or here, it doesn't matter by doing a slice, like whether you do it like this or like this. So in the moment you insert the block, the edge is always going to be on top, I mean the BD edge. While if it's, for example, here, you should make sure that you insert the block this way to preserve the edge. Because if you insert it this way, you will have to do an M2 again, which is a pretty bad loss of time and useless one rather than big, because it's not that big of a loss of time, but it's annoying to do, okay? So if the edge is here, insert it like that. While, for example, if the edge is in this position, so you get the block and the edge is in basically the opposite side, it should be here, but it's here, you have 2 options. You either inserting the block without taking down the edge, and then you simply do U2 and insert the edge, or you insert the edge first, like this, and then you insert the block without taking out this edge.